Hello and welcome. This is a Intercede Virtual Espresso session regarding Microsoft CA. So these sessions are designed to explain, in the time it takes to drink a nice cup of coffee, some of the functionality of MyID and give you examples of their use. So this is going to be a look at the Microsoft CA integration. If you want to know anything in detail around it, that's all documented in the Microsoft CA integration guide, which it comes part of the product documentation set. So this is everything we see today in more detail and gives you all the options. But hopefully today you'll see a overview which will give you ideas of it in practice. MyID itself connects to multiple external systems, as you see in this diagram here. So PKI certificate authorities, we support multiple of those, so that can include things like DigiCert and Trust, Prime Key, Verizon, Unicert, and we have APIs to connect new ones in, as well as HSMs, etc. But today we're going to be looking at the Microsoft CA, and as you can see, that's just part of the standard connector we have within MyID. The supported versions of the CA are for Windows Server 2016 and Windows Server 2019. Be aware when you're installing that CA, it can be installed in two modes, Enterprise and Standalone. You want the full-featured Enterprise version. This comes as part of the Windows Server software, but make sure you've clicked on Enterprise rather than Standalone. And let's have a look now at actually getting it set up. There are prerequisites you need to do on the server. This enables you to give MyID the rights it needs to request certificates from that server. So MyID itself acts as a registration authority. We request certificates on behalf of other users. We have a system account that does those requests. This means you don't have to set up rights for the end users on these certificates. We do it on behalf of them. That makes life a lot simpler. So part of that, we need to have the MyID, we call it the COM user. Here it's called MyID app. And this is the system user that we have these rights for. It's all as discussed in the guide. So just having a look at this now. There we go. So this is the management console for the Microsoft CA. We're just going to look at the CA top level, and we're going to look at the properties and security. And we're going to give the MyID app user, it doesn't need the manage CA one, that's because it's a demo system, but you do need the install and manage certificates and the request certificate rights. Just those two. That needs to be set up there. Good-o. There is an enrollment agent certificate template built into the Microsoft CA. We use this. This is what we do to request enrollment, to act as an agent in requesting enrollment of certificates for the end users. So it's well named. So we need to have rights to that enrollment agent certificate. So we'll see that. So you go into here to certificate templates, and we're going to manage those. And there is an enrollment agent template there already. If we look at the properties of that, and the security, again, we want that MyID app. You can always add it if you need to. Well, you will need to initially, but hit add it. And we have read and enroll rights to that template. Now, be aware, the Microsoft CA has a store of templates. It only publishes the ones that are listed there, the ones that's actually been specified that you're publishing. So we'll do a new certificate template to issue. Look at that enrollment agent template. OK that. And that's now ready to be requested. As part of the issuance process, part of the initial process of setting up a CA with MyID for the Microsoft CA, we will automatically try and register that enrollment agent certificate. You can do it manually, and you can do it for things such as if you need to have it for different servers, or you need to have it as a addition. Say it's a 3-year enrollment agent certificate and you have a 5-year certificate authority, you can then request an additional enrollment agent certificate before the other one goes end of life. This is all specified within the guide. Okay, getting to be more useful now, we'll look at the certificate templates to issue. So you can specify on the CA what certificate templates you want. So this could be encryption or authentication, whatever. signing certificates, and you can call them whatever you want to. It's your CA. So you can create a new one, and we'll show you what you need to do to enable MyID to request those templates. So here we go. So you can create a new one, or you can do what we're doing here, which I think most people do, is actually copy an old template and then amend it. So here we've got a smart card user template. We're going to duplicate that template. And there we go. And let's have a look. Let's change the name of it under general. So it gives you that copy of. So we're going to change that to employee smart card template. Doesn't have to be a smart card. And we're going to give it, so we'll go to USB devices or whatever, but we just keep keeping it there. It's a very, yes, we love that interface. So yes, we're going to call it 3 years. We can publish it in Active Directory. That's all good. We're going to give the MyID app user their sort of read and write rights. That's cool. So they can do that. And we're going to apply that. Again, this is all documented there. In fact, we're not going to imply it. Yeah, read, write, and enroll. Great. And we are going to add one extra feature, which is we're going to because we're going to roll it on behalf of other people. We're going to do that as a authorized signature. So it's going to be part of the application policy, and then the application policy is going to be a certificate request agent. So this enables us to actually request this on behalf of other users. So you need to make that change, and we'll OK that. Again, that is a template that's now in the template list for the CA. Last thing we do is need to publish that. So that makes it available for us to request it. So certificate templates to issue, employee smart card. OK that. Bob's your uncle. It's there. So that is available now to be requested. Fantastic. So if we have a look, so what we need to do now is get MyID to be able to know that template's there for that certificate authority. And there's a useful utility called PKI Config. And what this does is it automatically goes out within the domain, checks what CAs are there, and can import those CAs and the templates they've got into MyID. So what it does is it scans the network for available CAs, adds any new CAs and certificate templates into the MyID database. Be aware, it doesn't remove any old CAs from the database. So here we go. That's under the Intercede directory, MyID utilities on the server. If I just open up, I've got to open up there a command prompt. So there's the PKI config. So we're going to nip to that. Go into that directory. We'll run. Yeah, it's a bit big. There we go. We'll run that as PKI config. We're going to put verbose on because it looks like we're doing. You can see what it's actually doing. There you go. And it's so we've got logs there, by the way, that can be given to our support team if you've got issues around this. But that's worked fine. That's actually gone out and updated the MyID's knowledge of that certificate authority. Okay, so now we're going to go into MyID and enable that template. So here we are in the in our utility there, the desktop agent. Here we can see we've got actually a couple of certificate authorities connected to this issuance of MyID. And there is, look at that, good as gold, the employee smart card template is not active at the moment. So what we're going to do is enable it. You can do, so here is where you deal with the CA. You can disable the CA. It gives you lots of warnings if you do that. But we're going to go for that employee smart card. We're going to enable it. And here you can set things such as the life. So 3 times 365 is 1095. So you can put the certificate lifetime in there. You can specify whether that's going to go to hardware devices, the key algorithm, etc. So all that can be specified, but plus other things that can be done, such as attributes, etc. Again, it's all in the guide, but that is simply enabling that certificate template. And let's have a look, just to close up, at a credential profile. So now, if we look at this credential profile, we should have that certificate template as a thing we can put on devices. And there it is, top of the shop, that employee smart card on that domain CA is there. And if you added that to a credential profile, the next time that device was issued, or you do a device update for already issued ones, it will put that certificate onto that device. It's that easy. And once you set it up, it's there. So there we go. It's a out-the-box Microsoft CA integration. You've seen how easy it is. Again, I keep pushing the integration guide. It has all the information in there. That CA connectivity is out the box. We've seen us adding certificate templates to the CA, bringing that all the way through to MyID and incorporating it in a credential profile. And that gives you some idea of the end-to-end support MyID has for the Microsoft CA. I hope that was useful to you. I hope you enjoyed your coffee. If you do have any questions, please don't hesitate to get in contact. And cheers.